Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to Social Media Trends on the Weekend Show. My name is Ina Peters. Glad to be back, of course, giving you some of the biggest stories that trended this week. Now, we begin with Zakzaky, Sheikh Zakzaky's failed medical trip. All right, now. So this week we all witnessed, the controversy or the drama between the head of Nigeria's Islamic movement, Sheikh Zakzaky, and the federal government. After several protests, Shiites were finally happy that the leader and his wife, Zainab, were granted bail on medical grounds by Kaduna High Court and allowed to go to India for treatment. Well, the story turned sour when Zakzaky refused treatment in India, saying he didn't trust the Nigerian government, and the Nigerian government accusing him of trying to seek asylum in India. Well, Zakzaky and his wife are back in Nigeria. Safe to say it wasn't a successful trip. Okay, now, so let's look at just a few reactions, from Twitter and Instagram, just Nigerians reacting to this. At Olatomi Renkeni, Nigerian government versus Zakzaky is a typical chess game to which we should pay close attention. They both have strategies. Smile. Let's move on to the next tweet, please. At Bbnaija, on this Zakzaky issue, if our judges insist that any high-profile individual that claims he or she needs to travel abroad for medical reasons must be accompanied by Nigerian security personnel, the nonsense excuse will stop. At Lado KD, replying at Sahara reporters, but what is wrong in Zakzaky trying to handpick the doctors who will treat him in India? It is acceptable, at least in European countries, for a patient to opt to be treated by a particular doctor rather than another. So why is this a big problem for the Nigerian government? And at Udoyi had a lot to say. Zakzaky is learning a painful truth. The anyhowness and big manism one can get away with in Nigeria does not work in the same way in other countries. When the Kaduna government chose not to appeal the Zakzaky's medical bill, they laid down strict conditions. Those conditions included Zakzaky being in the custody of DSS personnel while in India, and the Nigerian government working with the Indian government to ensure Zakzaky did not flee. Zakzaky is now complaining that the Indian security services are conspiring with the Nigerian authorities to harass him. The harassment he is claiming is there are armed Indian security personnel at his hospital door, and they are not letting his preferred doctors attend to him. Does he understand that he is still in the custody of the Nigerian security services? As far as the Indian authorities are concerned, Zakzaky has been accused of being a terrorist by his home country. He is probably on their terrorist watch list, and thus they are going to ensure that neither he nor his followers cause any trouble in their nation. That is one long assessment. Now we move on to another story that's really trended this week. Now, well done to Governor Fayemi of Ekiti State. Now, a lot of Nigerians are applauding him following, the new Sex Offender Act that has been implemented in his state. Now, we got this from Instablog Niger when the governor tweeted, "Today we commence the naming and shaming of convicted sexual offenders in Ekiti State. Hashtag say no to rape JKF. Public notice sex offender. This person whose picture appears here is Reverend Asateru Gabriel, formerly of St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Finsi, Ekiti. He is currently serving a 5-year prison sentence at the federal prisons at Do Ekiti for sexual abuse and exploitation of a 7-year-old girl. He has been registered in the Ekiti State Ministry of Justice Sex Offenders Register." Now, of course, a lot of Nigerians applauded this move. Let's look at some of the messages and comments, just applauding the state governor for what he has done. At Harrison_Gwamishu, this is on Instagram, "Nice move. While we punish offenders, it is important we support victims. Set up sexual assault centers." Dr_Bright, "Yes, I support it. The general public should be made aware of anyone that is a known sex offender, so people will keep their children far from them, especially these ones that are really guilty." Best Niger Prize, "Very good. I love this name and the shame them not just on social media, on all broadcasting channels. Well done, Governor Fayemi, and hopefully this gets to the federal level." KRM_furniture, good. Employers, especially at schools, should check with the register before employing any staff. I think this is very, very important because recently we've seen, teachers raping students. So I think it's really, really important. This should be duly noted. And finally, we have one more. Evolution Naturals. Great move. Let the shaming finally go to who it rightly belongs to. The victims should not be ashamed. The offenders should. Brilliant. Now, of course, again, this week, Bbnaija is still ongoing. But guess what? Khafi trended heavily this week. Now, this is because the Metropolitan Police Department is calling her out for allegedly having sex on national television. I'm talking about the Bbnaija show. Let's look at this report by the BBC UK. A police officer is appearing on the Nigerian version of Big Brother despite bosses refusing her permission. The Metropolitan Police said it was carrying out an internal investigation after PC Khafi Karim went on the program without authority. Scotland Yard said the 29-year-old had been granted unpaid leave for an unrelated reason. Meanwhile, a spokesperson from Khafi's team has also posted a statement requesting that the UK's Sun newspaper, where this whole thing broke from, withdraw an article that alleges she faces the sack for having sex with another contestant on the show. Let's look at this report just narrating the whole situation.
The 29-year-old officer had taken unpaid leave and had gone on the show without permission. Aisha Baksh reports.
She was touted as the new face of modern policing and was used in a recruitment campaign to increase diversity in the Met. At this launch outside Scotland Yard, Khafi Karim told BBC London how important it was for her to be a police officer.
People have said said to me when I was going to join that, no, that's not a place for black people, you really shouldn't, the police are racist, and I just think actually how can anything change if we're shouting about it from the outside?
Welcome to the session.
Thank you. But while on leave from the Met, she became a contestant on the reality TV show Big Brother in Nigeria and is said to have engaged in potentially inappropriate behaviour. She's now under investigation, accused of bringing the force into disrepute and could face misconduct proceedings. Well, this is the police station here in Brixton where it's thought PC Karim once worked. In a statement from Scotland Yard, they've confirmed that she was given unpaid leave from the force and even asked for a permission to appear on the show, which was refused. They now say that they do not in any way support her appearance and she does not represent the Met while on the show.
Welcome back. Now, of course, you know that a lot of people are saying, good publicity, any publicity is good, whether good or bad. And of course, we see this, every bad publicity is good publicity. So she's blown. It's up to her to make it what all the trouble, just like Kim Kardashian. This is coming from TV personality, Jane_Lawrence. Now, because of time, we're going to move to the video of the week. But right after that, I have a special guest. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back. Here's video of the week.
Oh, pretty girl, why are you walking alone?
I just feel like walking alone.
Come on, up here, let me drop you.
Child! Emmanuel, are you telling me the truth? How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah?
My guy, you go hustle low.
What?
This thing what I see like this now. Now they make person eye blind.
You be mumu, you call other people mumu. They never show you say you be mumu.
You don't know why it's going on.
No, na me fuck up.